Actress Jennifer Aniston has opened up about her struggle to have children. The 53-year-old Friends star, known and loved around the world, has revealed for the first time she spent her 30s and her 40s going through IVF, which was made harder by the endless speculation around her relationships and her fertility. And in a candid interview, she told US magazine Allure, "I was throwing everything at it. I would have given anything if someone had said to me, freeze your eggs, do yourself a favour. You just don't think it. So here I am today. The ship has sailed." Jennifer Aniston added that, looking back, she now has zero regrets. And she's pleased she's reached an age at 53 where she doesn't have to think about having kids anymore. Well, as someone who went through this and is around the same age at 54, I've got every sympathy for her. The only thing I don't believe is that she says she doesn't have any regrets. And also, this idea that, oh, well, if you've frozen your eggs, everything would be fine. This is what so many women, young women, are being told now. This is the answer. It is absolutely not the answer. It doesn't guarantee your chance of having a baby. I went through loads of miscarriages and also 3 failed rounds of IVF. Thankfully, I had my own daughter, one daughter naturally. But it is absolutely heartbreaking to go through this and very, very expensive. But the thought of doing that while the world's media, every magazine, every news broadcast is looking at, oh, are you pregnant yet? Are you pregnant yet? Why haven't you had a kid? What's wrong with you? Don't you like kids? Are you a bad woman? You know, and all that judgment. I can't imagine what she must have gone through. And it's great that she's talked openly about it. What do you think about it, Afia?
Do you know, the pressure to have children on women is so
What kind of woman
overwhelming.
are you if you don't want children?
And that's the thing. And, you know, I got married at the beginning of this year. And even though, you know, it was my second marriage or whatever, since we got married, there's been so much pressure on us. When are you going to have a baby? And I have a daughter who's 10, and yes, we would absolutely love another child. And like yourself, we've had losses along the way. Some of them are quite recent. And, you know, when you have that added pressure of people asking you all the time, when are you going to have a child?
And people mean well, don't they?
Sometimes they mean well, and sometimes they're just nosy. And this is the thing, is that I find it a lot of pressure, and it can be very overwhelming. Just me, myself, but I can't imagine being Jennifer Aniston and have photographers and...
But you don't have that pressure. I mean, no one says, why Leonardo DiCaprio? Why have you not had a baby? What's wrong with you?
Yeah.
They don't say that to him.
Yeah, sorry, JJ.
I was just going to say, but this sounds... And obviously, I worked in showbiz for many years. I don't feel like this is necessarily a press issue or a men issue. I feel it's women who are judging women. I don't think men care whether you've had a child or not, but I do feel that women are saying, why hasn't she been able to lock down a man yet? Why hasn't she had a kid yet?
Good point.
So it's
I think you're right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But
women are very cruel to other women.
Yeah, and I think also for many women, obviously, they want, you know, the struggle between actually wanting to do well in your career, actually getting ahead, proving yourself, having to prove yourself that you're better than a man many times, and then realising that actually maybe you did want a child during that time. It's a very difficult battle, I think, a lot.
But I can't imagine... bearing in mind these kind of stories are around quite a lot now, I can't imagine saying, even close friends of mine, I can't imagine saying, are you having kids?
Yeah.
Because that would always be in my mind that maybe there's a difficulty.
That's what I've had. The amount of times the cab driver has said to me, have you got any kids? Yes, just got the one. And they would say, oh, why have you not given your kid a sibling? Well, because the IVF kept failing and 4 miscarriages happened. But thank you for sharing.
And, you know, the amount of times people have said that to me,
Mm.
even today somebody said that to me, and it just is... This is the thing, is that what you said, Ian, I wish more people thought that way, that you have no idea what's going on behind closed doors.
Don't make assumptions. Yeah. Can I just say, though, also, can we please get that message out to younger women and younger men as well? You can't just go, oh, I think I'll have a baby at 40. The women who are having babies at 40, probably doing lots of years of IVF, it's often not their own eggs. And people really, really need to be open and honest about it. You really need to be starting, if you know you want a family, you need to be starting on this much earlier, you know, in your late 20s, very early 30s. All these women who think that, oh, I don't have to worry until I'm 35. You're a doctor, you know. 35, your fertility falls off a cliff.
Of course it does, and also I think people put it off and think, well, the timing isn't quite right. I just don't know when the timing is ever right. That's the point
I mean, when are you ever going to be ready for a small screaming child?
You're not, are you?
You're never going to be prepared for that.
You can take the pressure off people asking whether you're going to have a baby after your wedding by doing what I did, which is have a baby and then have your daughter as your bridesmaid at your wedding. So you kind of done the deal already. Nothing classier.
I know this is probably a separate issue, but I don't think there's enough emphasis or awareness on adoption. And I know for some people,
That's a great point.
no, it has to be my own body, it has to be my And I obviously I get that. However, I mean, if you look at, there's a slight nod to the new John Lewis ad, which we'll speak to a little later on, that's about fostering. But why is there not? A friend of mine, they're just on there, literally this last weekend, their second adopted child.
Yeah.
That takes a lot of going through as well. You don't love that child any less because they're adopted rather than through the system of, you know, IVF or natural, whatever the phrase is. But
yeah, but it's the adoption of babies. But what people want often is a baby, and they're just simply not available, which is
that's quite
not
hard.
thinking of
You're
children as a
absolutely right.
commodity, but
Yes.
yeah.